That's a comment I woke up to this morning, and it just reminded me how ignorant some people are about what it's like to actually be a disabled person. It's crazy some of the stuff that people will say, and this type of thinking and logic and way of gauging our self-esteem gets ingrained in us from a young age, and it leads to so many problems later in life. Like, I have thoughts that come up, and they're not my own. They're coming from these things that I have learned, like telling myself that I'm lazy, or I'm not trying hard enough, or that I should be able to do something. All of that is coming from being ingrained. When I saw that comment, it just took me back and brought up all those feelings about everything that has been said to me across my life. Um, that I should be able to do things, or it shouldn't be that hard. And people don't understand the effect those type of comments take on people because of all of this training and programming that gets ingrained in us from such a young age. We start to develop this way of making decisions that isn't based on our own needs, wants, or things we personally desire. Is based on what other people think that we should be doing. And this happens because from a young age, we hear the type of output we should have, what we should be able to handle, what people our age should be able to handle. I remember hearing that a lot, like growing up, like other people your age are able to do this, or your sibling, your mom when she was your age, your dad when he was your age, stuff like that. It really sticks with you, and even when you're grown and out of the house, you still have the same thoughts that were comments from other people coming up in your head. Even if, you know, I don't live with my family, they far away, don't live with them, haven't lived with them in years. Still, to this day, thoughts and ways of thinking, it still comes up, and it's a huge process to get that programming away. And this leads into what I feel like is the biggest problem we have today: low self esteem, low self worth, depression. It's it's horrible, and it comes directly from this way of thinking that gets ingrained in us from a young age. For me, growing up, I did like pretty well in school, and that got me the approval and the whatever from my family and stuff like that. And then as you start getting older, expectations get higher, things change, whatever. And that's where it really started to get worse. You start growing up, expectations get more. And what I'm trying to say is, as that increases and you're not able to meet them, you start to hear those comments that start keep on popping up as you get older in your 20s and 30s and stuff like that. Like when I was in high school, I wasn't working. I didn't start working in high school like my sister did, and I heard that a lot. You know, your sister was doing this at your age. Oh, people your age that you went to school with, people in your class are working and doing this and doing that. You know, you should be able to do that, and it just piles up, and it makes you look at yourself and go, why can't I do that? Why am I not doing the things that they are doing? Why can't I handle the things that they are doing? And then that leads to making decisions based on the fact that you feel like you can't do um, the things you should be doing. Like when I was at high school, I tried to get a job for um, this tire shop, whatever, over the summer, and it was absolutely horrible. I'm autistic, if you don't know, and it was not a good fit for me, but I did it because I was getting so much pressure from my family and everyone about how I'm not, keeping up with what my sister was doing at this age, what my friends are doing, or what other people my age are doing. And It makes you make different decisions than you otherwise would have. This is why this programming and this mindset is so harmful for us. Like anybody, and especially disabled people, even like people that aren't disabled, this still affects them because people just have different capacities and different abilities anyway, regardless if you're disabled, and it just leads you down the wrong way. There's a way to get out of it though, but it's really hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's really difficult, but you have to find a new way to measure yourself or not measure yourself really, because measuring yourself against other people and what other people are doing and what your parents think you should be doing, it's going to ruin your mental health. You're not gonna be able to, you're not gonna feel like you can win if you're measuring yourself against other people, because there will always be someone doing something better. There will always be someone that can do more or has more this or more that or whatever the case may be. One way to start doing this is to start looking at measuring yourself against what you have done. Like, what have you done this week? What do you want to do next week? What did you do yesterday? What do you want to do today? What did you do good yesterday that you want to do today? And also having your own core values. Like I literally have core values that are written down, and that helps a lot. And nowhere on there, working 70 hours a week is not a core value. Okay. Like having stuff like that, that is truly based on who you are and not what other people expect you to do, is so helpful. I think, having a list of core values is so underrated. It can help you with making decisions and just guiding yourself without adding more pressure than you already feel from your parents and other people, and just the stuff that just gets stuck in your head. It's a really hard process. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Therapy has helped a lot for me because, if you have a good therapist, they can help you uncover those beliefs and thoughts that aren't coming from yourself, but they're coming from, your parents in the past or friends in the past or whoever. They can really help you identify if you have stuff that's not really true to you. And I think that is so powerful. It's so cliche, but you can't measure yourself you can't measure yourself against what somebody else is doing. Like, the only thing you can measure yourself against is you. Today, yesterday, this week. I wouldn't even say go back farther, because I've experienced burnout, and what I was doing 2 years ago, I'm not able to do now. So even in some senses, like, you can't even measure yourself against yourself, because things change. But I'm trying to keep up what I did yesterday. I'm trying to get a little bit better over the weeks, and that's all I can do. I'm not gonna turn into somebody else and be able to do all these different things that other people may expect me to do. It's just not gonna happen. But I can do my best, and I can be a good person, and I can, be there for people. I can be kind. I can do those things.